So starting here up on the upper right, we'll start right in this category here. Providing resources and assistance to make meaning of data speaks to the routines and protocols that sites develop for collaborative inquiry. And data use is at its heart a process of interpretation. And so it's clear from the research that with the right structures and improvement goals in place, that teachers benefit from this collaborative practice and student learning can improve with the right set of inquiry structures that are established. There was a fantastic study from Nelson, Slavin, and Duell in 2012 that introduced an important element in this bin and this element here that organizes around this notion of proving versus improving. And in schools that are more successful for data use, teachers talk about improving their practice rather than proving what was done right in their classrooms. So big switch in terms of how we focus the conversations in those categories and thinking about the supports that teachers need for collaborative inquiry. Going down the right-hand column then and looking at providing professional development on data use knowledge and skills, this is something that's near and dear to my heart as a professional development provider, knowing how difficult it is for teachers to translate data into action. And this, the work in this particular area for me, focuses on pedagogical content literacy and content knowledge development of teachers. That one of the ways that schools need to think about their data use work is to help teachers deepen and extend their content knowledge from the perspective of what are next appropriate steps for students? What are the range of instructional strategies that I can use to move learning forward based on the data? And how do I help make that transition between what happens above here in our discussions about what the data says and what needs to happen there? As we move forward into the participating in the flow of information, many urban schools especially invest in data systems, and this is an important frame for, I should say many urban schools do, this is an important frame for many systems get stuck here by focusing extensively on the system itself. What we know in this bin around participating in the flow of information is that data systems need to really develop streamlined, accessible uses, and as Marsh said in his 2007 research on this, that we want to see in this category that data is safe, usable, and easily digestible. And the responsibility of whoever it is that's preparing data for teachers, because teachers will tell us that they don't often prepare the data themselves, it's often prepared for them, important piece of that. As we think about developing a common vision for data use across a district, the principal's ability in this communicating professional expectations for data use, the principal's responsibility for organizing and filtering information to bring that down to the teacher level is really critically important. And those communicating professional expectations happen in kind of soft and not soft ways in moving that forward. And we'll hear a little bit about how Nashville has done that in a variety of different ways. And finally, providing leadership involves being transparent with data and really helping teachers in particular and users of data understand that leadership is there to guide improvement. And the benefits from these informal distributed leadership strategies are very clear in the research about providing teacher leaders with access to data and opportunities to use that data. So that's the framework in a nutshell, and I'm going to close with one piece of guidance as you think about this through today, through today's webinar. And that is that all 5 of these elements are equally important. And we can't privilege one over the other when we set up our systems of support for data. This metaphor I bring to you in this regard is organized around something that happened to me as a young person. And little did I know that it would be such a big topic right now, that we'd be doing this presentation during the Olympics and everybody's talking about gymnastics in the press. When I was a child, I was a gymnast, and I was a decent gymnast, but I was really hoping to be a much better gymnast. And I had a fantastic coach who recognized that there are basically 5 elements of gymnastics practice that I needed to work on: flexibility, endurance, stamina, strength, and poise. And those are her 5 frames for our practice. And I was super flexible, and because I was super flexible, all I wanted to do was work on things that were going to improve my flexibility. We like to do what we're good at. And she took all of that work right out of my practice, and she made me focus on the things that I wasn't as good at and that I needed to strengthen and develop. And all 5 were equally important to bring my scores up and to really make me proud of the work that I was able to do by developing those other areas that were weaker.